You are now listening to On One Radio. The talk show podcast station bringing you the realest information around comedy, truth, lifestyle, health, all of the above. I am your host. I don't count likes, calories, or blessings. I don't dine with snakes or bite my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am. I am your host, Tony Williams. Welcome. I'm doing something a little different tonight. We are live streaming on YouTube, as well as live broadcasting on Spreaker.com, which means I am live broadcasting across iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, Castbox.fm, and I feel like I'm leaving out something, but okay. Like the show. If you're a new listener, welcome. Big shout out to On One's Day Ones. Thank you for your support and tuning in on the regular. My On Ones is on Facebook. It's a private group, so check that out. There's a couple of questions to answer, but you can get up in there. That way you can stay in tune with all the information and everything that is going on. All right. Oh, and also you can contact On One Radio by email, TonyOnOneSpeaker@gmail.com, On One Radio Talk at gmail.com, by phone 337-513-4478, and by Skype. The name is Live Tony on One to chat. Like, share, and follow on all the social media sites: Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Video, Snapchat, WordPress, Instagram, YouTube, of course, and LiveMe. Like, share, follow, and subscribe for raw and uncut and unfiltered truth. All right, so let's get into this now. The topic for tonight is generational curse. Yes, I said it. Generational curse. It is a real thing, and something really needs to be done about it. I mean, there's not many people talking about this either. They want to talk about everything else. Everything's just celebrity, everything, shoes, purses, all that crap. No. Let's talk about some real issues here. And generational curse is a real issue, and it needs to be dealt with. And so many people out there are going through this, and they're either silent because they're scared to speak, or they've gotten used to it, or whatever the case is. It needs to be dealt with. It really does. And generational curses is real, people. It is real. How is it real? It's real painful. It causes real distance between families, and it brings so much. I mean, let's be honest here. The family is supposed to be a well-oiled, functioning machine. But we all know, whether it's us or someone else, there's some real issues going on in the family setting. The family dynamics are, I mean, just really falling apart. And it makes me wonder, do they know what exactly is the role of the family? Which makes me also consider, is there a miscommunication? Is there miseducation on the subject? Are they just going by what they know or what they see? And a lot of times that actually is the case. And instead of learning from their family members' mistakes, they continue to fall into that same unbroken cycle, which is detrimental to the family and any future families because they don't know how a family is actually supposed to function. I know some are going to look at this and laugh and be like, oh, we're not listening to her. She's a kook. She don't know what she's talking about. Oh, yes, I do. From personal experience to talking to other people who have experienced some of the same things or even some different things. In society, in today's society, there is a dysfunction when it comes to the family. It is a dysfunction when it comes to the family. Now, if we want to say everything starts at home, then what's at home? The family. So if they're not able to be a family, they don't know how to function, do their jobs as a family, how can we how can we expect for them to know how to be a functioning family? We can't. But that is why that curse needs to be broken. Haven't the generations of families and people suffered enough? Like, seriously, haven't they? Haven't they shed enough tears? You have people running around cutting themselves because they don't know how to deal with what they've been through or what they're going through. And when they can't, I mean, when they can't function like that, then you bring in drugs, alcohol, sex. They do become a wild card because you never know what they're gonna do, how they're gonna react. They don't know how to carry themselves, and when in turn being sexually promiscuous, they in turn have children. They don't know how to be a family. No one actually told them what define the roles. What are the roles of a family? And a lot of families really don't know because they're untaught. They're going by what they saw and what their parents saw, and their parents went by what they saw. That's how you have a generational curse. But it is time. Let's not go into the year 2020 doing the same crap the past generations have done. It is time to stand up, to own up to what is happening or what has happened, and actually try and mend, try to mend the families. And in some cases, it's sad to say, but there's no mending. So it only leads to separation because nothing has been done about it. Nothing is, they feel, is going to be done about it. Because everything that happens is swept up under the rug. Everything that's done is just like, oh, they'll learn. How? How the hell are they supposed to learn if you're not teaching them? And everyone likes to shift the blame over here. or shift the blame over here, or just throw it back there and be like, well, I don't know who fault it is, but it ain't mine, not it. Yeah, you're it, you're a part of it. So that makes you it as well, especially if you've already started a family. Everybody want to keep it 100, then let's keep it 100 and be for real about it. Instead of pointing the finger. Oh no, it's his fault. Oh no, it's her fault. How about it's everyone's fault who took part in the dysfunction, who perpetuated the dysfunction, who didn't call it out, who just said, okay, you know what? We'll sleep on this and we'll talk about it in the morning. The morning comes, nobody's talking. Then you've got days later, weeks later, years later, and you wonder why cousin such and such act like she does, or Junebug and them act like they do. I mean, these are just random names here, but I'm just stating facts, actually, because we can look at the news, we can look at social media. All of it tells the sordid and disturbing, as well as sad story of the generational curse. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into this. What is a generational curse? Okay, the majority of it is emotional. Yes, the majority of it is emotional. There's a certain percentage of it that's physical, but the emotional is what spirals everything and everyone into oblivion, especially the family dynamics. Emotional generational curses in our generational line, there have also been emotional issues we have inherited, such as depression, bipolar disorder, control, anger, fear. When our parent has manifested fear, anger, and control, we often manifest that behavior through a generational curse and how we observed their actions and reactions. Observe their actions and reactions. Cause, effect. Because Big Mama chose a dude that wasn't right for her, brought all sorts of hell to the family, drama and everything, and kids were produced in that situation, those kids are observing, they're watching, they're soaking it in like sponges. So, because Big Mama did it, Mama turns around and does it, daughter turns around and does it. Let's not let's not forget to mention all the siblings from Big Mama, Mama, and then it rolls down to you, and inadvertently you do the same crap that they did, the same things that they put up with. Thoughtism, lying, cheating, money hungry, don't care about anybody but themselves. All of that plays a part. Nobody wants to believe it, but it's true. Everyone should know by now that kids are mocking who takes care of them. So if mama was a prostitute, 9 times out of 10, unless that particular daughter or son, because you have male and female prostitutes here, unless they decided, no, this will not be me, it ends here, then they carry it on. And when they have children, their children carry it on to their children. And that's how we end up with a generational curse. The smoking weed, the drinking, the partying, the excessive partying, the being too sexually open in public. Where did it come from? Where? Oh no, Big Mama was a saint. Stop lying. Because you lying to yourself, which means you lying to your kids, which means you're teaching your kids to lie to themselves, which means you're teaching them to lie to everyone else. And when they have kids, they're going to lie. You see where I'm going with this? It must stop. Okay, if Big Mama was a sex addict, say that. That's some information the family should know because things are inherited. And when they're inherited, nobody knows where the hell it comes from because nobody is talking. Everybody wants to hide their past sins, but you're really not hiding it. You are not hiding it. It's just like a mother, if she doesn't teach her daughter to keep her legs closed, do you think she's going to teach her daughter to keep her legs closed? That's just like if a father doesn't teach his son to not be abusive to women and to keep a job, what do you think's going to happen? Do you really think he's going to keep his hands to himself? Do you think he's going to teach his sons? See, it goes both ways. Like I say, everyone wants to point blame, but nobody wants to own up to it. Nobody wants to accept their role in it. That's why families end up with all these unnecessary secrets, shameful, hurtful, resentful, regretful secrets. Well, if you didn't try to cover it up and hide it back then, if you'd have actually sat down like adults and talked it out, worked through it, you could have broken the generational curse. But since you didn't, who knows how many generations today are cursed by what was done 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years ago. Are you willing? Or do you think it's acceptable? It's not. Everyone should know their role and play their role as a functioning, effectively communicating family. And when something happens, don't hide it. Deal with it. Face it right then, right there. Don't try to still, oh, we're just going to stick a pin in this for later. Don't try to give it an excuse. Oh, it was just a bad dream. No. Oh, it's just your imagination. No. Oh, he really wouldn't do that. No. She'd never do that. No. That's not her character. Where the hell do you think she got it from? Be honest. Be honest. See, people always want to say that only money is the root of all evil. Lies are actually the root of all evil. The deception, the trickery, the hiding, it plays a major part in it all. It's why Boom Keisha and them don't know how to act. It's why Becky and them out there just slurping it up out of control. Because it's not just one race. It's not. It's in multiple families of multiple cultures, of multiple areas. Everyone just about has a story that they can tell, but do they tell it? No. The dysfunction of the family, because the family don't really even know the meaning of family. They don't know truly how to support one another. They don't know how to talk to one another. They can't even be honest with themselves. They can't take ownership of their misdeeds. They want everything to be looked over. No, you do not get a pass. I don't care what age you are. Now, the little children, they automatically get a pass because they really and truly do not know any better. 9 and up, and I'm being gracious with that. 9 and up, you know exactly what the hell you're doing. You're doing what you've seen Bub and them do. You're doing what you see uh, Kayla and them do. I don't know. Just names, random names. But it is what it is. So own up to it. Deal with it. Learn the actual functions of a family so you can deal. Go get therapy. Work through these issues. Maybe you can save your family. Maybe you can be the one to break the generational curse. It can be done. And it's sad because a lot of people do not know the role. They don't know what family structure is because they've never had it. Everything has always been chaotic and full of drama, and no one talks with each other. Everyone's yelling at each other, cursing everyone out. You got mamas talking to their daughters, calling them ugly. Tell them don't nobody want them. Don't nobody love them. Don't nobody need them. Don't nobody care about them. Little boys are being mistreated. Where is it coming from? It starts at home. It started at mama's home. It started at big mama's house or papa's house. It started at home and ended up in your home. So don't hide it. Work through it. Deal with it. Seriously, deal with it. Because if you don't, you're going to end up with resentful, mean family members because they don't want nothing to do with you because you're full of drama. You got too much going on. You won't sit your ass down nowhere. You won't own up to anything. You got the narcissistic thing just all over you. The aura is all over you. They don't want any parts of that. Those are the ones who are trying to break that curse. Y'all know it. You have the family members that don't show up to family reunions, birthdays, Christmas, holidays. Why should they? Why should they put themselves back in a very unnatural vibe where they know they're not welcomed, where they know they're not loved, where they know they're not supported? So they don't. They move far away. They don't call. They don't do none of that because they're tired of it. They want a peaceful life. They want a peaceful home. They don't want the drama. And for a lot of people, that's what they end up having to do. And that's just being honest. And they shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to put themselves back in a place to where it brings up all these horrible things that happen to them. They might be sitting at the table of around the family, and they've got to look at the person who molested them, or they got to look at the person who assisted in them being molested. Who the hell wants to do that? Anybody in their right mind does not and will not put themselves back in that situation again. They're the ones breaking that curse. But we're going to dive on further into this because we're going to get through this. And I'm going to try to get through this a little quicker. I don't know if I'm going to have to make a part 2 to this or not, but I'm going to go through. All right. So, broken family structure leads to educational difficulties for children, which is true. Their mind is so full of crap that they can't focus on what is important. They don't really know what's important anymore. And that can be a problem. Family structure. Families, there are many different types of families that are born in our society, all different, that have many ways of showing the supporting and caring and being a stable family structure. The family structure affects the behavior of parents in different ways as the caregivers stress and the amount of time spent with the child or children. There are three types of families: the nuclear, the single, and the grandparent. The nuclear family is when both parents and children are living in one home, considered traditional. Okay, that's what a lot of people are striving for, but they can't quite get that. They can't quite get that. Now, the single parent, we know in certain cases it's single moms. For me, it was single dad. Yes, there are some single dads out there, and kudos to you guys, just as well as kudos to some of the single mothers out there. Not all, but some. Now, a stable family is really what you're going for. But when there's no communication, there's a breakdown. In which case, you can't. You can't. And that also rolls over to knowing exactly what the job roles of the families are. But if it's not taught, then, well, hell, you don't know. You really don't know. I mean, and in today's society, they want to put just the mom as the matriarch of the family. She's the backbone of the family. Well, what happens when she's not being that? And then there's a breakdown. How is the son going to know how to be a man? How's the daughter going to know how to be a woman? It doesn't work. It does not work well at all. It ends up being dysfunctional, and it ends up being a lot of drama, which is not a good thing, but it happens. That's why you end up having all of this. Well, I'm not listening to you. Well, that's why your teens don't want to listen to you, because they've watched you. You tell them one thing, but do another. So I'm not saying it's right that they don't listen, but at the same time, not listening just may save their futures. So then they have to go out and find a family role model. That's how you have teenagers ending up with other families that are not even related to them, because they end up finding a stable home with some other total family, the actual support. If something happens, they want to sit down. Come on, Bobby, let's sit down and talk about this. What happened? What do you feel? How did that make you feel? What do you feel that, should happen? Okay, well, these are the options. Well, I'm sorry this happened to you, and we'll do whatever we can to make this right. That's not happening. And it's sad, but it also happens a lot more in the Black community. I know, I know, but it does. It really does. But it's a generational curse, and we got to break it. We really have to break it. I mean, it has to be broken. Okay, so we're going to go over the steps. Um, the full surrender. I know. The full surrender. I mean, the first thing you really do have to do is be willing to come into a full surrender of you and your entire life with what happened and reach out for whether it's God or, whatever your preference is, and work it out. Because you can't go back. You can't go backwards. It can't be undone. So you have to move forward. I mean, confess what happened. I know it sounds like it's all just religion, but whether it's talking to a counselor about what happened to you, or a therapist, or talking to your best friend, someone you trust, someone that is really and truly there for you, they're not going to put you out there on blast. Talk to them. Talking about the situation actually does help. It does. Because you get to vent a little in a positive way and get some of that hatred or whatever you're feeling, or the disappointment, the grief, get some of that out, because if you don't, it's going to make you sick. You're not going to be able to function. And you must be able to function in today's society, because if not, then you're going to continue to be in that same jacked up cycle, and it has to change. So you got to be able to talk about it. You have to be able to talk about it. And you got to be willing to forgive. Not forget, but forgive. That's a big one, but it can be done. And also, and this is what I was talking about earlier, for some people, the end result, or the better option for them, is to kind of separate. Because if the atmosphere that you're in is going to keep you in the cycle, you do have to part ways. You do have to find your peaceful space. You have to get away from it. You do. Because the longer you stay in it, it's just going to keep the generational curse going, because then you're going to find yourself stuck in it. You have to be strong enough to get away from it, which may involve cutting ties with certain people, certain areas, whatever the case may be. But you have to do what you have to do in order to be able to break this curse. You have to refocus your mind and your life on the positive things that could be going on with you and your family. So I implore you all, break that curse. If you know someone, help them break that curse. Talk to them. Be that shoulder for them. Don't make fun of them. And if it's you, get help. I stress it. Get help. I even go to therapy. I'll admit it. I do. And it does help. It does help. I've had my fair share. I've seen it firsthand. I've been through it. It's not a pretty sight. But I was able to break that curse. My children did not follow in that same steps. So I don't have any worry about when they do go off and get married and have children, that my grandchildren are going to end up in that same curse. It is rewarding to know that the curse is broken. It gives a certain peace of mind. And a peace of mind is what everyone does need. So, the dysfunction, the drinking, the molestation, whatever it was or whatever it is, break that curse, because it's an endless cycle. If you don't, you're going to be stuck on that hamster wheel if you don't choose to get off. You don't have to act like mom or dad or uncles or your siblings or big mama or papa or whoever. You don't. There is a way out, but you have to do the work to do it, which means changing your entire outlook, changing your views, change how you see things. Learn as much as you can to have a healthy lifestyle. That way, your family can be productive. Your family can stop being dysfunctional. And if you're trying to mend your family, know this: it is not going to happen overnight. It is going to take a while. It's going to take some crying and some tears and some, mm, some to get through it. But if you really love them, you can give it a try. But know when to cut ties if you don't see any changes. And I'm being so honest with you guys because I want everyone to have a healthy, happy lifestyle. But you do have to do the work. And for those families who are living a very decent and happy and healthy emotional lifestyle, they know their family roles and everything, big kudos to you. Inspire someone else. That's what I say. Because that's what I'm here to do. Encourage and inspire change and to tell the truth, because the children need to know the truth. I don't care if you're 80 years old, you still need to know the truth if you don't know it. So take the time out to actually look around, to think about it. And you do have to know the signs. Just a couple here: growing marital problems, at the wrong place at the wrong time, continually not learning from mistakes, continually making the same mistakes over time. Because, we all say that. One time is a mistake. The second time, okay, you cutting it close. The third time, that ain't a mistake. That's a habit. And it needs to be broken. So you definitely have to know the signs. Your kids not wanting to be at home. Your kid's always crying. A relative is always crying. A relative doesn't want to show up to any family functions. Those are signs. Those are true signs that need to be heeded, needs to be understood, it needs to be worked on. It's not easy breaking a generational curse, but it can be done. And I believe that it can be done. And if you put in the work, it will be done. I really feel like everyone does deserve kindness and respect. But there comes a time when you have to call people out on their crap. The truth has to be out there. You don't have to be hateful with it, but you still call them out. Hey, that's not right. That's not how it's supposed to be done. Why wouldn't you support like you're supposed to be? You're a mom, or you're a dad, or you're a sibling, your uncle, aunt, your grandma, your grandpa. Why are you not standing up for the family? Why are you not correcting this? Why are you not saying anything? Because if you don't, it's going to float to the next generation. It's going to be the same thing over and over and over again. And no one needs that. No one. No one at all. So, go online, do your research if you have to. Hit me up. You can email me, tony@onespeaker.com, if you want to talk or if you want to ask questions. On one radio talk at gmail.com. You can call up here at On One Radio 337-513-4478. Don't forget to like and follow here on YouTube, on Spreaker.com. Oh, don't forget to hit that bell so y'all can know when I get ready to do these lives, because I'm coming with some stuff. And it's something y'all don't want to miss. And I'm talking about, I'm on here just as plain Jane as I can be, because I'm comfortable in my skin, and you should be too. That's where the truth is coming from. It always comes from unexpected sources. And I don't have time to tell you anything wrong. So, this has been On One Radio. I've been your host, Tony Williams. Check me out, like, subscribe, share. Let's talk, people. Get all up in the comment section. Bite, I ain't got no tea. Hey. Yeah. Tony Williams. Till next time, guys. Peace.